Hi everybody! The topic for this video is tips for aging well, how to avoid malnutrition even if you don't suspect you have any nutrition problems. If you are an adult interested in your health or if you are caring for a loved one, did you know that you could be in the 12 to 50% of adults who are malnutritioned? As I talk to many of my clients and older adults interested in making plans for eventual care needs, and caregivers of spouses, parents, and others who are already well into this situation, dealing with health problems, planning for care, nutrition is a topic that we often don't consider. If you want to be healthy as you age and not need the help of a caregiver or not need a lot of expensive care, it's important to think about nutrition. If you already experience health problems or physical weakness, nutrition is one area that can have a huge impact, positive impact on your life. Many people are malnutrition without recognizing the signs, so stay with me as I share information on how and why and the signs that you might be malnutritioned, the effects of malnutrition, and what you can do about it, because if you want to stay healthy or be healthy as you age and not need a lot of care, not need caregivers, stay out of the hospital, stay out of nursing homes, you definitely need a plan. A plan for your health, a financial plan, a legal plan that includes paying attention to all of these aspects of your health that are likely and that do cause the most significant problems when you get older. Now, the issue here is that we don't talk about this. Health, financial, legal plans for aging, they're not really anything that we think about or even want to talk about until some problem shows up over here and we have no choice but to do something about it. I will tell you, it is so much better to be proactive, to avoid these problems that you may or may not be aware of, rather than having a problem and then needing a solution. If this is your first time here on my channel, I'm Pamela D. Wilson. I am a caregiving expert, advocate, and speaker who helps adults and their caregivers of all ages work through the health, the financial, the legal aspects of caregiving, including navigating family relationships. You can learn more about me and my professional experience by scrolling below. There's a lot of links to my bio, how to schedule a one-to-one consultation, free programs on my website, all of that. Please do right now click the thumbs up button on this video, follow my channel, share these and other videos here with other people. Please comment, even if it's only to say thank you. You can also share your health situation. That one little comment, that one little thank you helps these videos reach more people around the world who are looking for hope, help, and support. And I'm going to just share another tip here in addition to watching this video. If you want a deep dive on nutrition and other topics to help you stay healthy, go to my website, PamelaDWilson.com. There will be a link below. Look up my Caring for Elderly Parents program. It's under the tab on my website called Support and More. And while you may not be caring for an elderly parent, this program will take you through everything you should know about all those things that you cannot even expect or imagine will happen or can happen with aging, so that you can avoid them, and all the reasons why people need caregivers. There's a whole section in there about how to keep your parents healthy that applies to anybody who wants to stay healthy. So let's start by talking about how malnutrition affects adults, meaning what does your life look like if you have poor nutrition or if you're malnutrition, so that you can be proactive. Signs of malnutrition: weight loss or weight gain. Now, you wouldn't think that somebody who is gaining weight or who is maybe a little overweight is malnutritioned, right? Because they don't look like they're starving. We cannot equate malnutrition to starving, because someone who weighs 200 pounds, 300 pounds can be very, very malnutritioned. They can be more susceptible to wounds and illnesses and all of that because their body is not getting good nutrition. So when you think about nutrition, do you eat healthy? Are you an emotional eater who craves sweets or salty foods or snacks or alcohol or substances when something happens in your day and you're under stress and you're like, oh, I want a candy bar. Oh, I want a bag of potato chips. Oh, I want cake. I catch myself doing that, right? I just resist. I have trained myself to resist and go get a drink of water or do something else because we all get stressed. We all can fall into a pattern of emotional eating rather than healthy eating and nutritional eating. This is a big one because it's one of the reasons there are so many weight management programs out there. Now, this is not to say that health problems cannot cause weight loss and weight gain, and I'll talk about that in a minute. If you are malnutritioned, if your body has poor nutrition, you may have a weakened immune system. Maybe you get a cold all the time or you just don't feel well. And if you do get a cold or something, you just don't bounce back like you used to when you were younger, right? It takes longer to recover. That cold may last a week or 2 weeks and you still don't feel well. And then you feel good and then what happens? You get another cold. If you don't have good nutrition, you may be physically weak. You may have low energy. You may have lost muscle strength in your body. You might have skin wounds that don't heal as quickly. Maybe you have problems with your teeth. A poor diet encourages tooth decay. Diets high in sugar or acidy drinks like coffee or citrus juices just eat away at your teeth. Having a vitamin C deficiency can also make it harder for your body to fight gum disease, which what happens? Then your teeth fall out. If you have poor nutrition, you may fall and break a bone. You may be more susceptible to fractures, or you could have osteoporosis. So signs that a loved one may have malnutrition, okay? Your parents are in and out of the hospital 2-3 times a year. 47% of people who are hospitalized, older adults specifically, are malnutrition. And it's never diagnosed in the hospital because that's not one of these conditions that causes something all of a sudden. It's a condition that happens over time that makes your parents weaker and less physically active, and their immune systems go down. So they're sick all the time. And having health problems can result in more nutritional problems. So, for example, people who are diagnosed with cancer, who go through chemo or radiation, may have a lot of stomach issues. They have heartburn, and the foods that they eat just upset their stomach, and so they don't want to eat, or they may not have an appetite. They're losing weight. It's just a spiral. People with COPD or breathing problems can also lose weight because they're less active. They just sit all day, right? They don't do anything. And if they're active, they're struggling to breathe. So there are special nutritional programs for people who have health concerns, cancer, COPD, breathing, heart conditions. It's important to be attentive to those. People diagnosed with thyroid conditions can gain or lose weight and still have poor nutrition. People who take a lot of prescription medications for health conditions, those can change your appetite, your sense of taste. They can upset your stomach. You might be hungrier. You might crave junk food. You may not be hungry at all. You may be nauseated constantly from these medications, right? There's a lot of things that affect the nutritional status of our bodies. Not to mention stress. People who are stressed out, maybe your stomach is just upset all the time. You have headaches. You can't sleep. Having good gut health is a major, important, super important factor in being healthy and the way that you feel. A lot of people who have poor nutrition can have heartburn or a diagnosis of GERD from eating foods that are high in fat or high salt or processed or packaged foods. If you smoke, if you drink alcohol, feel anxious, all of this can cause heartburn and those little heart palpitations that just make you feel like your heart's racing 100 beats a minute and you're going to have a heart attack. If you have poor nutrition, your hair might be not healthy. Your skin, your nails, those can indicate nutritional deficiencies. Another big one is not eating enough protein, and this one actually is huge and rarely considered, rarely talked about unless you are physically active and you're an athlete who knows that you need to eat enough protein. So one or all of these results in adults who age and can need more care and can need more support because of a lot of physical diagnoses and health problems and weaknesses. Now, other factors that contribute to being malnutritioned that you may not think of. If your loved one or you is depressed, maybe you're navigating health problems, you got a lot of health problems, you're worried about those. Maybe you just retired and you don't know what to do with yourself. A loved one dies, a friend dies, you're having changes in physical health that you're now worried about and you're trying to navigate all this and you don't know what to do. Additionally, aging bodies have different chemistry. They process foods and nutrients and medications different from when we were younger. It's just something that happens. You can also think of lifestyle and social factors as greatly affecting your nutrition. Do you eat out a lot? Do you rely on boxed or packaged or frozen or canned foods as your main food supply? If so, it's time to learn about food. When was the last time you read that nutritional panel on something that you bought? You looked at the calories, you looked at all the data there, and you understood what it meant. People who have poor nutrition can be older people who can't get out to shop. Or they're just like, I don't really care about cooking. I'm going to eat all this box stuff. I'm going to open a can. It's easy, right? My dad did that. But today with our lifestyles, meal planning, shopping for groceries and cooking, it can definitely be a time constraint. It can be a challenge. So here are some recommendations. You have to start with your health. What health diagnosis do you have? And how can nutritional habits improve or change those? What makes that diagnosis better or worse? What do your readings say about your health? When is the last time you had a checkup? Do you know your cholesterol number, your triglycerides, your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your weight, your albumin levels, which correlate with you being dehydrated or malnutritioned? You can have liver or kidney disease. Do you drink enough water? What are your energies like today versus when you were younger? Are you needing way more sleep? Are you tired in the middle of the day? Do you have to take naps just to keep going? Start looking at the food labels on everything you buy. Look at the sugar, the fat, the cholesterol, the carbohydrates, the salt, and the preservatives. Look at your protein intake, which most people don't even think about. So the older you are, the more protein you need. And if you're physically active, believe it or not, you need 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. That's a lot of protein. When you look at a food label and you look at the foods that have protein versus those that don't. If you don't consume enough protein, if you don't eat enough protein, you will lose muscle mass. You're not going to have muscles in your arms. You're not going to have muscles in your legs to be able to get up out of a chair and go do the things that you want. Now, to maintain muscles, you actually have to do physical activity and lift weights, right? So there's that component. But when you look at where you get protein from, you can get protein from meats, you can get protein from plant proteins. Now, there's kind of a balance here. So if you eat a lot of meat, let's say you eat a lot of red meat, that can be bad for your cholesterol. It can drive up your heart disease numbers. Too much processed meats like sandwich meat can drive up your cholesterol. So it's important to, again, look at those food labels and figure out where you can get your protein from, whether it's plants, egg whites, and cheese. And you got to kind of balance all that. So this is kind of like a chemistry project, right? Now you can get protein from other things like nutritional drinks, the ones you see on television. There are protein powders. There are protein bars for people who work out, and there's a lot of other supplements. Now, I will always say you can never go wrong by taking a multivitamin. That helps with the vitamins and the nutrients that you don't have, because sometimes it's hard to eat enough to get all those vitamins into your body. So in addition to all this, you can start doing some research online. Look up recipes online that focus on nutrition and protein. And in many cases, these recipes, some of them have like 20, 30 ingredients. They're complicated. Just scale them back. You don't have to buy a lot of unusual things that you don't keep in your house, right? You don't have to buy a lot of expensive ingredients. And I'll give you some examples from my diet. A couple of my favorite foods. One is a salad that I make from quinoa, and I add cucumbers and I add chopped pistachios, a little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of lemon, and that's it. It's an amazing salad. Honestly, I could probably eat it every day, but it's healthy and there's protein in it. For breakfast or a snack during the day, I might have some egg whites and throw some vegetables in there like peas or spinach or asparagus or cabbage. You don't have to have a complicated diet or be a gourmet cook or buy a lot of stuff to eat healthy and meet your nutrition needs. You just have to have a desire to do it and motivation to do it. And if you're young and you're healthy, your motivation is not to be sick and healthy. If you're already middle-aged or older age and you're having health problems, your motivation is to feel better and have more energy so that you don't need as much help from other people, or you don't have to go to a nursing home or a care community, so that you can continue to live independently because you are becoming and your body is becoming more self-sufficient and healthier. There is so much you can do today to support good health and your nutrition and your ability to stay healthy. Again, I'm Pamela D. Wilson. I'm a caregiving expert, advocate, and speaker who consults with aging adults, older adults, family members about health, aging, the legal aspects, the financial aspects, everything. You can find links below to schedule a consultation with me. You can find my website, a lot of helpful information. Again, please do click the thumbs up button on this video. Like my channel, follow my channel, share these videos with other people you know. Comment, even if it is only to say thanks for the video. That little comment helps other people all over the world find these videos, and you're actually helping other people. You're doing a good deed by giving a thumbs up, by following, by sharing, and by commenting. Thank you all so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you in another video.